This is an issue that we've been dealing with, but under the radar. We have seldom dealt with it in the House, which is what we should be doing, and I congratulate all members for getting involved in this particular debate.
Now, from July to September of last year, the Honourable Heritage Minister and I held a national consultation on copyright issues. And the bill before us was guided by the input of thousands of Canadians, creators, consumers, businesses, educators, and intermediaries. Let me begin with creators, Mr. Speaker. During the consultations, creators told us they needed new rights and protections to succeed in a digital environment. And so, the bill before us implements those kinds of rights and protections of the WIPO Internet Treaties and paves the way for a future decision on ratification.
And we've consulted Canadians before doing this. This bill reflects the variety of opinions that were expressed during the consultations held last summer. The consultations involved an interactive website, public town hall meetings, roundtables, and written submissions by average Canadians. Stakeholders told us that their business model in the 21st century depends on powerful technological protection. And we listen. Bill C-32 contains protections for digital locks to make sure that there's protection against piracy.
The House know about some of the support that this legislation has received. It's been broad-based, and it's been quite substantial in terms of the number of people who have come on board to support this legislation. The Entertainment Software Association of Canada, the film and television industry, the Canadian Film and Television Production Association, Canada's recording industries, Randy Bachman of BTO, award-winning artist Lorena McKinnon, the Canadian Chambers of Commerce, the Canada Council of Chief Executives, even the Globe and Mail.
The minister can wave around names of his so-called friends out there on this bill. But until we address the digital lock provision, until we address the issue of remuneration, this bill will remain fundamentally flawed. Now let's look at the issue of the digital lock provision. The digital locks completely makes a mockery of any claim of giving fair rights. The government says that you'll get fair dealing rights for educational, reproduction for private purposes, you can make backup copies, you'll have copying rights for the print disabled, you'll have the so-called YouTube mashup provision. But if there's a digital lock in place, all those rights are erased. Under Section 41 of the Act, it lays out very clear protection for the technological protection measures which supersede the rights that citizens would otherwise be able to enjoy. Thus, C-32 offers citizens rights that they won't actually be able to access. And what this government is doing is actually creating a two-tiered set of rights between digital and non-digital products. Instead of legal certainty, Canadian citizens will face arbitrary limitations on what should be their legal right of access. So, at this point, in going forward, the New Democratic Party are willing to work with all members of the House, all four parties, because we believe that we must update Canada's copyright laws. We need to find a way to do it. We think it can be done. What we are looking for is a sense from the government that they're willing to work with us. If they're willing to address some of the fundamental problems, we can deal with this in committee. However, if they take the approach that any suggestions or implementations that are slightly different than the government's are somehow a threat and that they're not going to work with us, then we will not be supporting Bill C-32 at third reading. But I want to say for the New Democratic Party that we are willing to take this to committee, we're willing to work on these issues, and we believe that we can make a very good, made-in-Canada copyright piece of legislation that will not only stand the test of this year and next year, but that will be looked at in other jurisdictions around the world as a way of finding that balance that has been so far elusive in the digital copyright wars of the last 15 years. Thank you, Madam.
Pleasure that I rise today to begin the long-awaited debate on Canada's proposed new copyright law, Bill C-32. If I may be permitted a personal comment, I'd like to say that no other proposed legislation has occupied my time as the industry critic for my party as much as this particular bill. Nor have I received more visitors knocking on my door to discuss proposed legislation than for the case of Bill C-32. Suffice it to say that there are a very large number of stakeholders watching very closely as C-32 moves forward in this House. The Liberal Party has problems with digital locks and technological protection measures, or TPMs. The Liberal Party has concerns with the application of new TPM circumvention amendments in Bill C-32. Specifically as it applies to music, video, and other digital media, the Liberal Party believes the Copyright Act must allow Canadians who have legitimately purchased a CD or a DVD or other product the ability to transfer their purchase onto other personal devices, such as an iPod, or make a personal backup copy on their computer, so long as they are not doing so for the purposes of sale or transfer to others. We do not believe that Bill C-32 achieves this principle at this time.
This bill does not strike a balance. It is more beneficial for large corporations, large software companies, etc., to the detriment and at the expense of others. There are two aspects that are specifically problematic. First of all, the approach which is based on digital locks. Of course, someone can say that we have to have digital locks covered under a bill. And that we need to maintain them, but to focus an entire bill on digital locks. And if artists want to make money, all they need to do is put digital locks on their works so that no one can copy them. And if someone needs a second copy at home or on another format, or that's completely ridiculous. That makes no sense whatsoever, and it will not work. We're talking about the survival of artists and artistic creation, which is at stake here in this case. And the same is true for other points. So that approach, which is based on digital locks, is completely outrageous. This is a bill which is designed to help large American companies in cinema, in games. These digital locks suit their purposes very well. Not all, but for the most part. So for them, they're very happy with it, and the government has done a good job for these large U.S. corporations.